What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to the Living Freed channel. My name is Tyler Freed, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about one of the major factors, one of the biggest things I believe holds a lot of people back in trucking. I'm going to get into that. What is the main thing that I think holds people back in this industry? And first, before I get into that, though, if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you for clicking on the video. I would appreciate it if you would like the video, sub to the channel, check out my Instagram. The link to that is in the description below. Follow me, I'll follow you back. And I'm going to get right into it. So why am I making this video? Well, I'm inspired to do it because I do hear a lot of people who are new to the industry, new to becoming a truck driver in particular. Now, you know, there's different facets of getting into the trucking industry. There's different positions out there, but I'm talking about specifically coming into trucking, getting your CDL and becoming a driver and, you know, going from there. Well, what's the biggest thing that is holding people back from actually going far in the trucking industry? The number one biggest thing, and I'm going to expand on it, is the unwillingness to do what you have to do to actually reach the success you want to reach. There is a thing in trucking called a trade-off. You have to be willing to make trade-offs. Okay? So if you're one of those people who just expects to come in and not have to do anything extra, just get your CDL and drive, and that's all you ever do, you don't have to strategically plan anything. You don't have to go get an endorsement. You don't have to stay out on the road for long periods of time. If you're unwilling to do a lot of things, for example, if you want to be home like every weekend or every day and still make really good money, you could go get your doubles and triples endorsement. And this is just an example. Get your doubles and triples endorsement and go work for an LTL company. They'll get you home every weekend and you'll still make really good money. But you have to go get that endorsement, and you have to deal with doing doubles and triples, for example. And you'll talk to some of these new people that are in the industry, and I tell them that, and they're like, oh, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Or, you know, I've seen other drivers tell other drivers, you know, new drivers that, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do tanker. I don't want to do hazmat. I don't want to do flatbed. I don't want to do OTR. I want to be home, and I want to be home every night. Well, you know, the truth is in order to make a lot of money and to be successful at anything, there are trade-offs. You have to make trade-offs. It's called sacrifice. There is no person in the world, in trucking, in music, in, you know, acting, in sports, it doesn't matter what it is you're doing. In order to become a high-level, high-income earner and actually be successful in a career, you're going to have to make sacrifices. You're going to have to do things that are uncomfortable. Like, you know, I was a trainer for a little bit at Millis. And the truth is, at Millis, it's a great start to your career in trucking. I think they're still one of the best starter companies out there. But in the long run, how do you make the most money at Millis? You need to be a trainer. You can make a lot of money as a trainer. I made a lot of money as a trainer. However, with that comes giving up your privacy as a trainer. That's one of the biggest things, was giving up that solitude. Because a lot of people are drawn to the trucking industry because of the solitude that they have. A lot of people. I was kind of drawn to it. Like, hey, I'm left alone and I can make that much money. It's way easier than what I was doing before, right? In terms of like not having to deal with people all the time. You know, I can kind of just be left alone and do my work, and I get paid for it. So that's what I love about trucking. And a lot of people like that. However, when I was at Millis, it's like, dude, if I want to make, you know, easily be crushing it, if I want to be crushing it with my income, I'm going to have to make that sacrifice. I'm going to have to, you know what, try it out, try the training out. Now that I have a kid, I wasn't able to do that. I need to have my attention on my family and not on training people. And I explained in previous videos why I quit doing that. However, I had to find something that was just as good, but solo. And I ended up finding that. But, you know, training was big money. It was big money. But most people are not willing to do that. They're not willing to share a truck with somebody and be in a truck with somebody you don't know for 6 weeks at a time. That's really tough to do. You're also putting your life at risk by training someone. And this is just an example of something that, or a way to make a lot of money. And I mean like $3,000 plus a week, a lot of money, and not have to even buy a truck. And you can really change your life with the type of income you can make as a trainer. However, a lot of people didn't really want to do that. Well, I talked to a lot of drivers and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Okay. Well, if you don't want to do that, you're missing out on the potential of making a lot of money. And that's just one example. If you don't want to be a trainer, okay, what can you do to make, big money elsewhere? You can go find a company that pays a very high rate per mile, but you're going to have experience for that. Like if you're a new driver, when you have less than a year of experience, it's going to be hard to find a company that's paying you, 60 plus cents a mile solo. You're going to have to get your experience first and then go find those companies. And there's a lot of them out there once you hit a year. Once you hit 2 years, there's a lot of them out there. You could run solo. Another one is team driving. A lot of people don't want to do that. Oh, I don't want to share a truck with somebody else. It's dangerous, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't want to do that, you're missing out on the potential of making a lot of money. You see where I'm going with this? Oh, I don't want to do tanker. I don't want to do flatbed. There's a lot of things I don't want to do, but I am willing to do some things, make some sacrifices and trade-offs to get to the money. I am. And so you understand that if you're new to trucking, if you're somebody who is looking at trucking as a career, or you're in your first year or whatever, and you're like, man, I'm making decent money, but where's the big money? The big money is in you thinking outside the box, not doing the same thing everybody else is doing. And specializing in something. When you're a trainer, dude, you're valuable to Millis. That's where I was before I came to Crete. You are valuable to a company when you train their students. I mean, you can make a lot of money. Most of the trainers at Millis are making well into six figures, not just $100,000 a year. They're making 120, 130, and if you really hustled, you could probably make 150. In a year as a trainer. You could. And for those of you that think that's not possible, well, I can bring Pedro on and he will tell you the type of checks I was making, because I was showing him my checks. And but if you don't want to do that, it's totally fine. Another thing is you have to sacrifice. If you want to go the business route, you can make 3, 4, 5. You can make way more than that if you want to become an owner operator and do that. But there's a lot of sacrifice involved with becoming an owner operator. If you want to build a fleet, there's a lot of sacrifice and dedication into doing that. Okay, you don't work 9 to 5 and build a fleet. You're working every single day if you're an owner operator, even if you're home. Those guys work all the time. So it's just, the point is understand that trucking is no different than any other career. It's not. If you're unwilling to go above and beyond to reach where you want to go, to make the kind of money you want to make, say you want to make $150K a year in trucking, you can do that. You can make more than that, but you're going to have to make moves and do things that are difficult and hard and challenging to reach that. That's the bottom line. So don't think trucking's going to be easy to get to the real money, because I don't consider $60,000 a year real money. I consider anything 100,000 or more, you're getting into real money. And you can make that kind of money in trucking without buying a truck. You could buy a truck and make even more than just 100,000. You could make 150, 200. There's guys that are crushing it out here, even in this economy. Okay, they are, because they sacrificed, they made the moves they were supposed to make a long time ago, and they've been doing this for 5, 10, 15 years. It takes time to be successful at anything, and it takes sacrifice. Think about a lawyer or a doctor, an accountant, engineer, how much schooling they have to go through. Most people are unwilling to go through the process of becoming a doctor, and that's why they get paid so much money, because most people aren't willing to do that. They're not willing to sacrifice that much time and effort and go through that much school just to get into a career. They don't want to do that, and they deserve to make that kind of money because they were willing to sacrifice and do what they did to become a doctor. And the same thing in trucking. To reach the highest level in this industry, or to really have this industry be worth it, this career path be worth it, you're going to have to do the same thing. You're going to have to study. You're going to have to learn about your industry. You're going to have to learn about the division you're in. You're going to have to maybe get an endorsement if you want to be home more. Because most of the best paying be home every night jobs are you getting an endorsement. Most of them are. And a lot of people don't want to do that. I like what I do. That's why I do what I do, because I actually enjoy what I do. But if I wanted to be home more, if I wanted to be home like every night, I'd probably, get my tanker endorsement or something like that. But, I'm going to switch over to dedicated and stuff like that here with Crete next year. It's coming soon, actually, that I'm going to be doing that. But the point is everything is a trade-off in trucking. Every single thing. If you want to make a lot of money, you're going to have to stay out on the road and run. You're going to have to work long hours and be away from your family to make that kind of money. But if you do that and hustle and sacrifice for 5-10 years, you could have the rest of your life. You could set yourself up for the rest of your life after that to never have to work again, or not have to stress about money, stress about making a paycheck. And I talk a lot about that on my channel in other videos. And like I said, check those out at the end of this one, because I talk about a lot about what to do with your money. Yeah, first you got to get the money, you got to make the money, and then keep it, and then invest it, and then eventually you don't have to work for money again in your life. And you can do that very quickly in trucking. In this career, you can do that. Okay? It's 100% possible if you have the right plan. But the point is you want to make as much as you can earned income so that you can invest as much as you can into your future. And so, but that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. If you're new to trucking, just understand that this is not an easy career to be successful in. It's easy to get into it, pretty much, like just to get a CDL and get through the training and learn how to drive and do the basics of the job. But to actually have long-term sustainable success in trucking, you're going to have to make sacrifices and trade-offs, period. You are. And if you're unwilling to do anything above and beyond the normal, just mundane, drive, you're not going to get to the big money in trucking. It's not going to happen. So that's my message for the day. I hope everybody's having a great day. And yeah, God bless you. Thank you for watching, and peace out.